Why is Marbury v. Madison a cornerstone in the history of the Supreme Court? This seminal case, decided in the early 19th century, forever changed the landscape of American jurisprudence by establishing the principle of judicial review. In the waning days of President John Adams's administration in 1801, he appointed a slew of Federalists to judicial posts, including one William Marbury as Justice of the Peace for the District of Columbia. However, when Thomas Jefferson took office, his Secretary of State, James Madison, refused to deliver these commissions. Marbury, feeling slighted, petitioned the Supreme Court for a writ of mandamus, or a court order compelling Madison to deliver his commission. The Supreme Court, led by Chief Justice John Marshall, faced a conundrum. On one hand, Marbury had a right to his commission. On the other, the Judiciary Act of 1789, which gave the Supreme Court the power to issue such a writ, seemed to conflict with Article 3 of the Constitution. Article 3, Section 2 of the Constitution outlines the jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. It states that the court has original jurisdiction, or the power to hear a case for the first time, only in cases affecting ambassadors, public ministers, and consuls, and those in which a state shall be a party. In all other cases, the Supreme Court has appellate jurisdiction, or the power to review and possibly overturn lower court decisions. In the end, the court unanimously decided that while Marbury had a right to his commission, the court could not grant him his requested writ of mandamus. The Judiciary Act of 1789 had indeed expanded the Supreme Court's original jurisdiction beyond what was outlined in the Constitution. Therefore, that portion of the act was unconstitutional. Here we see the birth of judicial review, the power of the Supreme Court to review and deem legislation unconstitutional. The court reasoned that it is emphatically the province and duty of the judicial department to say what the law is. If two laws conflict with each other, the courts must decide on the operation of each. So, Marbury v. Madison stands as a testament to the power of the Supreme Court. It was this case that truly established the court as the final arbiter of the Constitution. It cemented the idea that the Supreme Court can and must interpret the Constitution and determine the constitutionality of laws. In essence, Marbury v. Madison was the case that gave the Supreme Court its teeth. It marked the first time the Supreme Court declared an act of Congress as unconstitutional, setting a precedent for judicial review. It demonstrated that even the highest legislative body in the land is not above the Constitution, and that it's the job of the judiciary to hold them to account.